Pro Bowl rosters are out, so let's go ahead and crap on them. Or will we? What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So, this is Gojo. Say hi to the people, Gojo. He says hi. He's a Chiefs fan. I'm a Dolphins fan. Full disclosure. Let's go ahead, get into this sucker. Special thanks to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring the video. Use promo code Broshmo when you sign up at Underdog Fantasy. Bet responsibly, my friends. We're going to be starting with the AFC. And basically, they got the quarterbacks right. Because I think it's just stupid hard to outclass these three. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. You can maybe make the case for a Herbert. But even then, like you're still leaning these three. Burrow has the better stats on the year. And you best believe, so does Allen and Mahomes. You could also make a case for Tua as well. I kind of want to just give honorable mentions. Those three are correct. Going on to the tight ends, that's what they have up here next. And in all honesty, this is right. When at first I saw Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, like Travis Kelce, no brainer. But I was like, Mark Andrews, that don't sound too correct. But really, like, there's looking at the AFC, man, the tight end play hasn't been top tier. Like, you have some guys that are like emerging, like Evan Ingram's been hot recently. Pat Freiermuth has just kind of been steady over the year. But still, their numbers are below Mark Andrews. Chig Okonkwo has gotten hot recently. But again, they still pale in comparison. So for all intents and purposes, they got this one right. Now where they got something wrong, we go to the wide receivers. And Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams. Great picks. They should be here. Jamar Chase. I love Jamar Chase. He's one of the best receivers in the league. The injury, I think, kind of takes him out of play. Because what? He missed 3 or 4 games this season. He's only played... let's see. He's only played... Because, I mean, I think his numbers are on par with Cooper Kupp's. Where the heck's Jamar Chase? There's T. Higgins. T. Higgins having a good year. Oh, here's Jamar Chase. Yeah, they're basically on par with Cooper Kupp's numbers. So you would think Cooper Kupp is totally eligible for the NFC, and we will see that is not the case. Jamar Chase shouldn't have been picked here simply because he missed games. Pro Bowl should go to the best performers throughout the whole season. I love Jamar Chase, no doubting. He is one of the best receivers in the league. But in all honesty, this should have been Jalen Waddle. I know, biased Dolphins fan. Jalen Waddle is 7th in the NFL when it comes to receiving yards. He's 7th. When we talk about touchdowns, he's tied for 7th. Dude's got like 300 more yards than Jamar Chase. Like, he should have been on here. It's kind of a travesty. And as we further get into these rosters, you will know why. If you're trying to make an argument for a player is good and you bring up, well, he has this many Pro Bowls, why people laugh you out of the building. Because no one takes Pro Bowl voting serious. Because a lot of times it goes to like fan favorites. For instance, we're going to go to tackles here. And you are going to see Taron Armstead. You got Laramie Tunsil and then Orlando Brown. Tunsil, yes, absolutely. I think he has been the best tackle in the AFC. Armstead, when healthy, has been up there as well. He's missed only a couple of games, though, opposed to like the 4 Chases missed. But Orlando Brown, miss me with that. Orlando Brown has given up among the most pressures this season. Colton Miller from the Raiders really should have been the pick here. And he has been consistent for the Raiders offensive line. He's been phenomenal this season. Really got snubbed here. Going to the guards, and oh man, this isn't going to be a popular opinion. So Joe Bitonio, I'm terrible with names, sorry. And Joe Thuney. Yeah, great picks. Quentin Nelson might be the best guard in the NFL. He's in a down year, but it's a down year by his standards. Like, he's still like better half of the NFL type of play. It's just down by his standards. And in all honesty, in my opinion, this should have been Michael Onwenu, who has arguably been the best guard in football. Like, this guy's been phenomenal. How are you going to not include him in here? Just wild, just ridiculous. Not a fan. And then we're going to wrap up the offensive line with Creed Humphrey, which massive agree. And then Mitch Morris. How the hell did Mitch Morris get on this list? Going to go back to my Dolphins. Connor freaking Williams has been amazing this season for the Dolphins. You could argue that he's been their best offensive lineman. I don't know how Mitch Morris... you could probably look at it and name off a variety of other centers in the AFC that are more deserving than Mitch Morris. I was confused when I was like, the heck? Mitch Morris? So let's just go here and look at it. Okay, so... yeah, I mean, even... honestly, Ethan Posick, kind of a resurgence in his career. Has missed the last few games. I think he's done for the year, potentially. Linderbaum, his pass blocking's coming along there. But dude, David Andrews, even Ben Jones, Mr. Consistency himself. Connor McGovern has been good. Corey Linsley, like, all these guys more deserving than Mitch Morris. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? All right, going to the running backs, and this is easy. These guys are, I think, in the AFC, they're the only three backs over 1,000 yards as it stands right now. Like Josh Jacobs has been just fantastic. Derrick Henry has been good, has been slowed in the second halves games recently, and Nick Chubb still steady as always. Just want to fact check my yard claim here. Yeah, it's not even close. Like, Jonathan Jacobs almost at 1,500, Derrick Henry almost at 1,300, and then Nick Chubb at 1,250. The next closest guy in the AFC is Dameon Pierce, who's shut down for the season with 939. Like, not even close. Not even close. Patrick Ricard makes fullback. Not a lot of teams use fullbacks nowadays. Honorable mention to my Dolphins boy, Alec. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Go, Joe. Give me time, bud. I'm blanking. Ingold. I was going to say Goldman. I was like, that's not right. Ingold. Just hasn't seen the field nearly as much as Patrick Ricard. Totally deserving. Like, totally. I just want to give an honorable mention to my guy from Miami. And I know y'all are going to say, oh, man, you're a bandwagon. Of course you're going to root for your teams. Don't worry. I got a hot take about one of my guys who made the Pro Bowl that I don't think deserved to. So just wait. You just wait. Let's get to the defense. All right. And I'm basically, let's talk about this, because defensive ends and outside linebackers are basically just edge rushers. Like, look at all those players. Matthew Judon, Khalil Mack, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson. They're all pass rushers. Now, I would argue here that the two probably missed out on the cut. TJ Watt, because of injury, the dude's been fantastic when on the field. And then Khalil Mack, who's been fine, but I wouldn't say Pro Bowl worthy if we're going to live up to the name of what Pro Bowl truly means. Guys having the best years this season. Instead, I think to fill that out, I got another Dolphin. Jalen Phillips, man. He's been freaking phenomenal this season. And then Alex Highsmith. That's right, over his teammate TJ Watt. And a few weeks ago, I was talking about how, like, Alex Highsmith is fine, but you don't really, in terms of pass production, like pass rush production, like Watt helps him a ton. Like, he's not on a level of like being an elite pass rusher. Like you see a noticeable dip with Watt off the field. Opposed to, like, if you were to take Alex Smith out of the equation, Watt would still be eaten. However, with Highsmith, he's also one of the best run defending edge rushers in the AFC. So it's like that guy, borderline elite in that regard, and I thought totally deserved a shout out over his teammate Watt because Watt was hurt in Khalil Mack. So that's just my opinion on it. Going to the defensive interior, they got that right. Like Chris Jones, Quinnen Williams, Jeffrey Simmons. They're the best in the AFC. Honorable mention, though, someone that deserved to get shout out. He's honestly, like, you got this tier of guys, and then you have Cameron Hayward, who's kind of in his own little bubble. I don't think really many people can touch Cameron Hayward. He has been phenomenal this season. It just happens to be the three guys ahead of him are freaking monsters. All right, looking at the linebackers, I will have a gripe here, as they only have 2 true linebackers here. And Raekwon Smith, CJ Mosley. Raekwon Smith has really added a big element to that Baltimore Ravens defense, so I'm not going to dispute that one bit. CJ Mosley having I would say a resurgence. Like he's shed some weight and he's looked much better this year. But I don't think I would put him over like a Matt Milano, who's just been a monster for the Buffalo Bills, and the linebacker pair from Cincy. Like Jermaine Pratt's having his best season ever. Logan Wilson's always good. Like I would say those 3 are more deserving than a Mosley, though I do want to acknowledge Mosley having a plus season. Do you want me to let you out, bud? Jeez, Gojo. Dog can't make up his mind. Does he want to stay in or stay out? I think he's sad that there's not many Kansas City Chiefs players up on here. All right, going to the corners. And like Sauce and Patrick Surtain were kind of no-brainers. Marlon Mack as well. I don't think Marlon Humphrey, I don't think is allowed a touchdown this season. Xavier Howard does not deserve to be on this list. He's having an all right year, but like, and let alone, if nothing else tells you how unbiased I am, I'm about to replace Xavier Hayward, a guy that a bit of a dud, don't think he deserves a Pro Bowl, with a New York Jet, bitter rival. I'm just saying, I try to come at this from an unbiased perspective. DJ Reed Jr., he is having a phenomenal season, and it's just getting slept on because Sauce is having an ungodly season. Like, Sauce has been amazing this season. I think he has like 12 pass breakups on the year. He's allowing like a 44% catch rate. He's allowed the least amount of yards in coverage this season. And we talk about him, but DJ Reed has been really good. Like, really good. Like, I really wish we would acknowledge him a little bit more. Let's actually go to his totals real quick here to give you an idea of what I mean, that he's having a phenomenal year. Here we go. All right, so he is allowed a 54.7% catch rate, which is good for top 20 in the AFC. In terms of I gotta hit minimum snaps here. In terms of okay, it's 6th in the AFC. In terms of yards allowed, he is, where are you at? 16th currently. And I'm just checking snap totals to be fair, because some of the guys ahead of him have like 500 snaps or less, like Brian Callahan, Miles Bryant, got Nate Hobbs, who's been hurt. So like, dude's having a good year. But look at like the ball skills from our boy DJ Reed. 10 pass breakups. He's got an interception. Like, we're sleeping on this dude's year. We're sleeping on it, man. Come on. All right. On to the safety position. We're just going to include them in one. As they got Mika Fitzpatrick. Yes. Derwin James. Yes. Jordan Poyer. Yes. It was, I would say it a little bit closer. It was hard. Like, Poyer's honestly right up there with those guys. I don't think he's allowed a touchdown all year. I think he's allowed the least amount of coverage yardage and at the safety position. So totally worthy. Not even going to throw shots here. Like, I saw his name initially. I was like, how is his year? It's like, you know what? No, let's acknowledge it. He's had a pretty good season. I really have no takes on the special teams aspect of it. Congratulations to all these guys. Justin Tucker making it for what, like the 20th time? Feels like he's been in the league forever. But let's go ahead and get to the NFC side of things. Starting with the quarterbacks, because I think I got a bit of a spicy take. I really do. But we got Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith, and then Kirk Cousins. Not even necessarily a spicy take. But I would say at the quarterback position, like the Kirk Cousins spot, I think it is up for debate. At the end, when I was really like thinking about it, I was like, ultimately, you know what, he deserves it. Like, it's really a pick whoever you think can slip in to here, because honestly, like his numbers are similar to Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, who I thought could be considered for that spot. But like the success he's had with Minnesota, the comebacks he's led this year, totally worthy over those two guys whose teams are just floundering. Don't even at me with Jared Goff. Just don't. He's doing a good job. He is, but I don't think he's played to the level of Kirk Cousins. There's Justin Fields. He's been so special, but not necessarily special as a passer. So ultimately, when I was like considering this, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm fine with these three. I think that is correct. And then we move on to the tight ends. George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson, and looking at it, I think those guys are absolutely the picks. I couldn't really decide on someone else to throw in there when looking at it. Here, let's do this. Just because a lot of the guys have been hurt this season, like Kyle Pitts going on IR. To be fair, he wasn't having the kind of year to really contend with those guys. Dallas Goedert got banged up. He went on IR for a bit. Higbee has struggled with, losing his quarterback. Dalton Schultz had a late start to the season. So it's like, when really looking at it, it's like, you know what? Yeah, TJ Hawkinson, absolutely. And then Kittle, yeah. I mean, you could make an argument that Dallas Goedert's numbers rival Kittle, who played 3 more games. So it's like, if we're going to sneak anyone in here, it'd be Dallas Goedert over Kittle, but I really have no qualms about it. But let's talk about the receivers here. In Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Terry McLaurin. Because, you know what, at the end of the day, I think I'm pretty cool with that. Those guys have been all fantastic. I think they all have the most yards receiving. So really, if we're going to talk about guys here, they're really just honorable mentions. Like Devontae Smith, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyler Lockett was having a really good run. Even DK was playing well this year. Like Kupp, if he didn't get hurt. Chris Olave, you just want to throw his name up in there. But like ultimately, these 4 guys, those are the 4 guys. But let's talk about the offensive line, because I'm not entirely on board with all of it. Tackles, I have no problem with. Unfortunately, some of these guys went down because of injury. Trent Williams missed some time. Tristan Wirfs is missing time. But like all their play was like top notch. If anything, like I really, because they're very close. I don't know who to discount, because I would argue Christian Darrisaw probably had a better year than all three of these guys. So I think that's an argument you can make. Andrew Thomas has had a really good year. Definitely deserves an honorable mention. So really, I'm looking at these 5 guys, and I'm just like, I really think it should be between them. But I really think Darrisaw probably should have been the first on this list. Maybe with Trent Williams, and then it's so tough. Like Lane Johnson and Tristan Wirfs have both had exceptional seasons. On to the guards, as we got Zach Martin, yes. Landon Dickerson, we'll get to in a sec. And then Chris Lindstrom, yes. Obviously, the one hang-up I have is Landon Dickerson. Because I would argue, that his teammate Isaac Samalu probably had a bit better of a year. It's close, though. So, I mean, I guess regardless, insert Eagle guard here, and it's probably the right answer. So, just wanted to mention that. Center, there is no way you're getting this wrong. No one touches Frank Ragnow and Jason Kelsey. These guys have been phenomenal. Now, going to the running backs, I think there's an interesting argument to be made here. That you look at Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, Miles Sanders, and it's like, man, Christian McCaffrey really feels like he should have made the list. Who is he going in over? And I lean Miles Sanders. Though Miles Sanders kind of had a career year. I mean, you can make the case that Tony Pollard's numbers are lower than Sanders. And a lot of that has to do with, well, he's stuck on a team that still is financially obligated to let Zeke eat. After Zeke got hurt, they were more so willing to give Pollard the touches he deserves. And now that Zeke's returned, it's more of this 50-50 than it was like a 60-40. That's kind of what it was before. I don't know, man. It just feels dirty not like leaving Christian McCaffrey out here. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of a close call. In terms of fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, I think he doubles the next tight end in terms of snaps played, being CJ Ham, who are really the only two fullbacks used in the NFC, or at least used considerably. So let's go ahead and move to the defense. So we have Nick Bosa, and we're going to talk about the outside linebackers as well. We got Nick Bosa, Brian Burns, and then DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, Zadarius Smith, Hassan Reddick. Now let me ask you, which one out of those six do you disagree with? I'll wait. Because this absolutely should be Danielle Hunter instead of DeMarcus Lawrence. Lawrence is having a good year. Not in terms of Danielle Hunter, dude. Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith have kind of been the defense for the Minnesota Vikings. Like, even Patrick Peterson's kind of having a solid year. So much so that they're attacking anywhere he's not on the field. And we'll talk about Patrick Peterson a little later. But dude, Danielle Hunter totally deserves this more so than DeMarcus Lawrence. Like, okay, if you want to get to the nitty gritty and the specifics of the thing, well, let's take a look at pressures. Pressures, great indicator. How much pressure are they creating? What's their win rate? And fun fact, we got DeMarcus Lawrence at 46 pressures, 6 sacks. This is via PFF. They do all the analytics for the NFL, so it might not match up to what ESPN has it listed at. And then you look at Danielle Hunter, 55 pressures, 9 sacks. Here, let me pull up win rates. All right, win rate. Here we go. All right, can't even find DeMarcus Lawrence. But Danielle Hunter's win rate this year 17.5. DeMarcus Lawrence, I'm still having trouble finding. Oh, here it is, 14.2. In terms of being a pass rusher, yeah, Danielle Hunter kind of has had the better season. Talking about run stuffing, like, I think they're fairly close, but hey, I would slide in Danielle Hunter here. Talking about the defensive interior, you got Aaron Donald, Jonathan Allen, Dexter Lawrence. I think we need to throw a shout out to Javon Hargrave. Maybe you want to make the case, beat up Aaron Donald. Maybe doesn't deserve to be here. It's kind of a down year. He hasn't played the last 3 games or so. Has 40 pressures, 5 sacks on the year, compared to, where are you, Mr. Hargrave? Compared to Hargrave's 48 pressures and 10 sacks. But I mean, Aaron, just like, it's really Aaron, like, injury that would cost Aaron Donald the spot, because we all know he is the best defensive player in the NFL. Well, one of the best defensive players in the NFL has been the last couple of years. Watch out, here comes Micah Parsons, here comes Sauce. But yeah, no, it's like I think you can make a case for Hargrave over Donald. And then we get to the linebackers. Only got 2 here in Fred Warner and Demario Davis. I think those are fine. I want to give honorable mention to Dre Greenlaw from San Fran, Fred Warner's partner in crime. He's had a really good year. A lot of people sleep on him. And then TJ Edwards for Philly has been good. This is a guy who knows his athletic limitations, plays within them. Very smart player, very good run stuffer. Just goes under the radar. People like, we're quick to say, man, the Eagles, their linebacker depth is kind of poo. They don't really have a lot of good players there, and TJ Edwards has been really good. Really, really good. Can't we see more Kobe Dean up in there, but is what it is. Let's go ahead and get to the corners. Talking about Darius Slay, Trevon Diggs, Tyreek Woolen, and Jair Alexander. So I was looking at this because I think there's 2 corners that are more deserving here. And James Bradbury from the Eagles has been having a phenomenal year, and Jameel Dean, who didn't play last week because of injury, but another guy having an exceptional year. He's going to make a lot of money this offseason, and we saw what happened in the second half of that Bengals game where, okay, fine, we'll throw away from Carlton Davis. We'll just pick on Sean Murphy-Bunting. They really missed Jameel Dean. I would say the next guy edge out is Trevon Diggs. It's close. Diggs and Alexander. I would say like Slay and Woolen are having really like special seasons. I would say Alexander and Diggs, and I kind of lean Diggs. I think Alexander's a bit more deserving. But yeah, slide it in like a James Bradbury, Jameel Dean. Looking at the safeties, we got Quandre Diggs, we got Buda Baker, and Talanano. Oh my gosh, Hufanga. Sorry. He is. You're what, a few years removed from college now after going to USC. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. It is what it is. I haven't had to say it in a while. But Hufanga's had a really good season. If anything, yeah, he's my first ballot Pro Bowler. Buda Baker is the only signs of life on the Cardinals defense, and it's a shame because he's exceptionally good. Wow, I didn't even give a shout out to Patrick Peterson. in the corner section. Here's his shout out. He's honestly having a really good year. I am not going to call it a career resurgence because he's up there in dog years, a little bit long in the tooth, but has had a good year. Anywho, with this, Quandre Diggs, I would say get out of here. You'd be like, well, Diggs has had a solid season. Not compared to Ryan Neal, who for the most part has been a rotation guy, a special teamer, who has now had to step in because of the Jamal Adams injury and has had, hold on, banger of a freaking 2022, dude. He is exceptionally been good for this squad. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. He is pumping up right now because I'd argue that he's one of the best run stuff in safeties. Two, in coverage, because I get it, man. This guy plays everywhere. He'll play in the box, he'll play deep, he'll play in the slot, but he has 6 pass breakups. He's got a pick. He's only allowed 179 yards in coverage. Like, the dude's had a very, very good season. I think the only, like, Cameron Curl definitely is worthy of a shout out here as well, but I kind of lean Ryan Neal. I think Neal's just stepped up his game so much. All right, but let's give a shout out to the special teamers here. Jason Myers. Got, hey, Tress Way. There we go. Oh, Cavante Turpin. Look at that. Jeremy Reeves. Jeremy Reeves, I feel like never got a fair shake there in Washington. Like, I thought they should have had him be like one of their starting split high guys instead of like freaking Bobby McCain and his washed up butt. But yeah, Derek Forrest has stepped in and been real good. I really wish we've seen more of Reeves on defense. He's only played 25 defensive snaps. So yeah, I get it. You think he's a special teamer, but I mean, I go back to like 2020 where he just had an exceptional season. Exceptional. And I have a hard time believing that you can't let this guy see the field more. But anyway, that's my take on the Pro Bowl. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. That's it for the video. We'll have a mock the mock out later for you today. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.